Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Aaron. We're from the Leave No Trace Center for Outdoor Ethics. Today we'll be talking about the authority of the resource technique, which is a great educational tool for dealing with those less than leave no trace moments. We'll also be covering a few of our best practices for effective communication.
This technique is great for rangers, volunteers, and everyday citizens who wish to educate other people about Leave No Trace in a positive way that's actually going to make a difference.
Authority is defined as the power to influence or command thought, opinion, or behavior. Nature, or the resource, has its own authority to influence our behavior. Because of this, people are actually more likely to enjoy the outdoors responsibly when they understand how their actions impact the natural world.
There are 3 main steps involved in effectively using the authority of the resource technique. Before beginning, it's helpful to establish rapport to open the door. Ask the other person how they're doing, what their day is like, where they're from, if they've been to the area before. This all helps establish a friendly conversation. Step 1. Give an objective statement. This can be tricky, but practice makes perfect. We want to avoid placing any blame on the other person, and we want to avoid using any value-laden terms like don't or should or didn't you know. For example, you might say, "I've noticed some people hiking off trail," or "I've noticed a lot of erosion in this area." Making this objective statement keeps the conversation non-confrontational.
Step 2. Explain the implications or the consequences of the action. This is what we like to call the why. This explanation should focus on the resource, like trees, water, wildlife, flowers, etc., and how the observed action impacts those natural resources. For example, you might say something like, "There are many endangered plants in this area that are easily trampled by people hiking off trail. Because there are so many people visiting this area, many of these plants and flowers could be easily lost forever if everyone hiked off trail." Remember, the consequences here should focus on the impacts to the natural world, and not necessarily because it's against the regulations. This helps people understand how their actions impact the natural world.
Step 3. Tell them what can be done to improve the situation. No one likes to receive criticism, however well-intended, without solutions or opportunities for improvement. For example, "I'd feel a lot better if everyone stayed on the trails to help protect this sensitive vegetation and to help prevent erosion."
These educational conversations are the most effective at inspiring long-term behavior change, but they can be challenging at times. A few of these effective communication tips will help bolster your authority of the resource technique.
Come from a place of compassion and treat them as an individual. It's important that we don't make this one person out to be everyone we've seen doing dishes in a river or littering on the trail. It's important that we come into each situation as a new opportunity for education.
Orient your body to be shoulder to shoulder rather than face to face. This helps create a friendlier atmosphere and can reduce possible tension in the conversation. Remember, you're both in this together instead of you versus them.
Take parents or trip leaders aside to have a conversation if possible. No one likes to be told that they're doing something wrong in front of their kids or participants.
Take a minute to collect your thoughts before you approach the person. Plan out the steps of your conversation, especially the why. If you're with a group, brainstorm with them what you might say.
The Leave No Trace movement can be strengthened when all outdoor enthusiasts understand how to minimize their impacts. Although sometimes challenging, the authority of the resource technique is a proven framework for having meaningful conversations that truly make a difference to our shared lands.